But yeah, let's get started. Let's get started.
Grand Finals will result in another Genesis win. Well, you ain't gotta wait too much
Leo
longer.
versus
Find out, man. We're
Mars.
kicking things off. Pokemon Stadium. Let's do it.
So yeah, this is also like you know, the nerves for both these characters. A little bit risky
Let's do it.
down air. Start things off. Leo, solid conversion. Ooh.
MKLeo as the grand finals should be a great one. MKLeo.
Yeah, this up tilt very good as an anti-air. People trying to attack from above. So that's good.
Jesus, can I get MKLeo though? Definitely inform a day. He's starting off with it. Jesus.
Yeah, Leo 100% expected. Like in this scenario here, like right before this flip kick, he either expected like something like an air dodge or a flip kick right away. He waited, he reacted, and tried to punish. But he was like a little bit off with his punish here. So Mars could have made something work here if he wasn't throwing out a move. Ooh, that was really good. Yeah, that was like from zero, right? Yep. Catches the jump with up smash. Yeah, all that from one read. Like, I think Leo expected Mars to go for a grab, which means that jump away could have been fine. Also, the fact that he did an aerial might have, you know, been that he thought Mars was going to jump with an aerial and he was just trying to beat it out beforehand. But yeah. Mars read the jump, catch with up smash, and quickly converts it to 0 to death.
I'm telling you, bro, explosions galore. Mars. I'm telling you, bro, explosions galore.
Yeah, Mars also loves to do a lot of like in these type of scenarios. Why is it buffering? It does that sometimes. Anyway, in these type of scenarios, Mars loves to do like super quick rising, short up rising fair.
Galore. Mars coming in trying to set the tone early.
Quick multi hits. Yep, there it is again. So it's like against these type of fairs, you want to either try to attack before the move even comes out, or you just have to accept that you're not gonna make it in time and try to like work something out afterwards. Either maybe you could test a parry on occasion, you could try to like just, you know, let the move be thrown out and then try to like either get more space if you think that like Zero Suit will retreat. Kind of depends on the scenario.
I'm telling you, you want to talk about somebody who could truly find motivation. Look no further than Mars. Just that 5th place finish. Somebody who could truly find motivation. Look no further than Mars. Just that 5th. You want to talk about somebody.
Yeah, this is classic as well. Like when you see good players. So when you see Leo here, so we have Leo here, Mars here. Leo obviously have like control of center stage. In these type of scenarios, it's very important to like not overextend, so like your opponent can like easily get above you and have you cornered instead. And if you look at Leo's movement, you can see that he quickly moves back, making sure that if Mars is gonna try to like sneak above him, he's still gonna have like Leo closer to center stage and Mars have like less space to work with. Mars recognizes this and probably thinks that it's not worth it to, you know, threat this area. So he like goes back a little bit and then Leo punishes accordingly. Like a lot of people in that scenario, instead of like moving back a little bit and basically tell Mars that you can't go here, a lot of people would have overextended, gone way closer to the edge, and maybe like gotten themselves cornered by Mars going above.
Be the best. He has to go through the best to do it. Why the hell not right now, TK?
Set looking a little radioactive. That's all I'm saying, man. It's looking a little unstable.
Why the hell not right now, TK?
Set looking a little radioactive. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, a little bit same scenario here. A little bit same scenario here. Leo has center stage, and then he moves back, making sure that it's gonna be hard for Mars to like actually contest this spot.
All I'm saying, man. It's looking a little
Mars still goes for it, but Leo catches him.
I mean, you don't really know who's going to go ahead and take the lead and keep the lead, who's going to keep the momentum, who's got the control. You know, MKLeo had a very nice combo right at the beginning, but then Mars
Yeah,
had
that's a
better
risk
control.
with CSS grab.
MKLeo had a
It's like
very
so
nice
much
combo
end
right at
lag
the
if you
beginning,
actually
but
whiff
then
it.
Mars had a better combo to take the stock just like that, though. MKLeo not taking a lot of damage and now super close to Arsene. You know, the tides could be turning.
Ooh.
Oh, here we go.
Wait.
Here we go. Oh.
Ah, that kill.
You know, the tides could
Damn,
be
that's
turning
like
that, though. MKLeo not
two
taking a lot of
stocks
damage
with
and
like.
now super close to Arsene. You know, the stock just like
Yeah,
that,
that's
MKLeo not taking a
Leo
lot of
even
damage
got
and
like
now
the starting
super
nair here,
close to Arsene.
but
You know,
he
the
probably
tides
thought he
just
could
like
run
that,
off the
MKLeo not
platform
taking
and
a lot of
actually get a
damage and now
conversion
super
from
close
the
to
nair. He could have buffered shield here before the up air, but it seems like Leo either predicted he could get like a follow up from that he either could get a follow up here, or that Mars would do like a scrubby air dodge or something. But I mean, the up air from Mars is perfectly fine here. Like, I guess for Leo, best thing would have been to like parry theoretically, or at least just hold shield to be safe. But since he didn't, Mars catch one up air, and yeah, it's not that much Leo could do after that upper, the first upper hit. He was basically deaf. DI, like, honestly, if you look at it, like, it's not much Leo can do. It's just like, he barely goes to the side. I don't think he could have DI'd better in the sense of like actually getting away from the combo.
This time though, Mars perhaps getting a little bit of a fight for the fact that he was not pulling the trigger in some of those positions. This time though, Mars perhaps getting a little bit of advice and saying, you know what, why the hell not?
Did you see that jump? My man, he got the
advice and saying, you know what, why the hell not?
Did you see that?
Yeah. It's like one of the few habits Leo has is that he rolls a little bit too much towards center stage. Like in those type of scenarios. He does get away with it a lot. But yeah. Oh yeah. Almost got the up smash from the bury. Dude, that flip kick is so good. It's like you're in disadvantage and then like all of a sudden many times you are in advantage instead. It's like legit one of the best moves in the game. Arguably the best. Actually, now when it's not like the bury any longer, like now it's like quite a lot worse. Still super good though.
It's crazy, like, you know, Mars, I mean, he's just been sensational, but he just can't develop a sizable lead against MKLeo. Making sure every step has been sensational, but he just can't develop a sizable lead against MKLeo. Making sure everything's just been sensational, but he just can't.
I wonder if that was an attempt of like a parry bait. Because a lot of people, like when they're in the air, right? They're gonna throw out an aerial before they land. So maybe Leo was like trying to parry or something here. So he drops shield, but Mars falls down, doing no aerial. And then he just, you know, does a quick move, catching Leo, dropping the shield. It's like two really good ways. Actually, three really good ways to beat parries. Is either doing multi-hit moves, which not every character has on aerials. Another one is to fall down and do no aerial period, and then do a move, kind of like Mars did here. Or do a super slow move. So they try to parry like a quicker move, and then when they drop the shield, the slower move hits. With Inkling, for example, if people try to parry your backer, you can throw out a roller, and if they try to like parry the backer, often they will be vulnerable when the roller comes out, since it's such a massive frame data difference between the backer and the roller. So yeah, that's like three ways to play around parry.
Every stock at the very least is going to be played very close.
Right.
Step least is going to be played very close.
Right. Stepping away, Mars trying to keep a little distance between him and MKLeo, but he does have to find an end before MKLeo gets too close to getting this Arsene, and he puts like
ooh, yeah, that was good spacing by Mars.
Gets too close to getting this Arsene, and he puts like no real damage on it.
Yeah, I didn't get anything from it, but still solid spacing.
It's Arsene, and he puts like no real damage on it.
And then here, you can see Mars like you can see that Mars makes it really hard to tell which side he's gonna land on, and that's very, very good. Like, sometimes even pro players can have a hard time to see, like, is he landing in front, is he landing behind me? And that, like, little confusion alone, a lot of players will pick, like, better safe than sorry. That I'm not sure, so I'm not gonna contest it really. And sometimes they might feel very sure, but they're, on the wrong side. So making it, like, very hard to tell, do I land in front, do I land behind? A lot of people make it really obvious, like, way before they actually land. So, like, let's say Mars is up here. A lot of people will make it very clear that I'm landing in front. And it's much easier to play around that than if you make it, like, very subtle if you're gonna land in front or behind. Like, with air dodges, for example, that can be another good scenario. Let's say you do a neutral air dodge to come down. A lot of people will make it very clear, like, I'm landing here. While a very good player sometimes might be like, oh, I'm going to try to, like, make you, like, up smash, hopefully in the wrong direction.
It should be coming up. Here it is. Oh. There. Arsene should be coming up. Here it is. Oh. That little cross he's been doing, a little small short hop across his opponent. Saw him actually get a back here like that on Sam earlier. But, oh, where you going? Scouted that one out. He decided to find where he was going with that flip kick. This is looking a little rough for him. I mean, dude, the base
yeah, adds up damage so fast.
Kick. This is
Leo is so good at getting his side Bs as well.
Turn it up.
Definitely turn it up.
Yep, stalling time from Arsene.
There it is again.
Very clean, very clean. Mars in a lot of trouble. MKLeo definitely patrolling, man. This percent lead looking a little shook.
I feel like that's the real thing about the back.
That's like, Mars is catching so many jumps out of shield from Leo. This is like at least the third one that's been like really dangerous of catching Leo out of shield. One of them didn't really lead to much, but it could have. So, yeah, it seems like Leo needs to be a little bit more careful with how he jumps against Mars, especially out of shield.
Okay.
Oh, Mars.
Okay.
Oh, Mars.
Yeah. Like,
okay.
In this scenario as well, Mars goes off the level. He's, like, trying to get, like, a little bit underneath Leo and probably jump back here, but he notices that Leo drifts too far away, so he's just like, I'm just going back to the stage. It wasn't like worth trying to go for anything there, like not forcing it, but he kept very good position in case Leo was like gonna end up a little bit too close to him.
Leo, who wants it more?
Yeah, so in this ledge trap scenario, like, to cover jumps from ledge, you pretty much have to, like, preemptively, or you have to do preemptively a move. Like, you just kind of have to predict, like, oh, they're gonna jump, which is what we see Leo do here. But Mars jumps slightly later, but Leo is still, like, ready to cover with a new move.
Leo, not barely.
Like, he could have air dodged, but I mean, that also would have been risky, of course. And, I mean, he survived that back air, so it was still fine.
But will he be the difference maker?
That was really good. Yeah. Yeah, that sequence. Yeah, perfect spacing. And then what a lot of people do out of disadvantage. So in Leo's situation here, what a lot of people do here is that they jump out of hit stun. So if they can jump before they land, since they don't want to get like tech chased, what a lot of people do is like jump quickly. And what someone in Mars position a lot of the time tend to do to cover that is to like jump themselves and throw out an aerial to cover like the panic jump. But instead of like Leo, to try to beat that type of jump from Mars, is throwing out a backer, right? But this time Mars was one step ahead and decided not to jump. And maybe, you know, he actually was even thinking that Leo was going to go for this jump and then try to punish Leo as he was like forced to come down instead. And he gets the kill.
relief for Mars as he cuts
So
out
yeah,
there.
that was a very
I
good
cannot believe,
exchange for
he
sure.
got him right where he was
Like a
landing.
lot of people would have jumped into Leo's backer because it's so common that people jump after they get hit but before they land, and a lot of people get punished for it. So Leo was like, all right, I'm gonna jump backer to like beat that option. But since Mars stayed grounded, he got like one chance to like kill Leo
I'm
for
sure
it,
that
and he
looked like a safe
barely
space.
did it.
That's what.
Like, trust me, that type of interaction with like jumping out of, you know, after they get hit, it's super common.
Oh, man, it just looks cool. Anyway,
Like if people look at their
Mars
own matches, they will
MKLeo,
probably
first
see
game
themselves
going
and
to
their
Mars,
opponents
very
do it a
clutch
lot.
Game, but I mean, just Mars MKLeo, first game going to Mars, very clutch game, but I mean, just they are literally scrapping right now.
Yeah.
Literally, they are game going to Mars, very clutch game, but I mean, just they are literally scrapping right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leo off to a
That
strong
British,
start
going,
here.
scrapping right
Yeah,
now.
we can still, you know, keep seeing like this whole like keep center stage mentality from Leo, like backing off. Like, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. Like, he does it a lot, but he does it because it makes sense. And worst case scenario, he has stage control. Way too many bad players force openings or try to force openings and end up getting reversaled instead. Like, the opponent goes above, and if they were Leo, they would have attacked here and then, yeah, sneak around.
British, you want to go, mate? Quick fisticuff if you want.
Like part of the reason why it's so important to like keep stage is because you have so like in Leo's scenario here, for example, he has less room to work with, right? While Mars have like he has the entire stage to work with. If he wants to, he can retreat a lot. Leo doesn't really have much space to, you know, fall back on. It might sound obvious when I want to talk about it like that, but a lot of people truly forget the importance of stage control.
Lord have mercy. I ain't mad at it though.
Yeah.
Certainly not mad at the coach.
Actually,
Lord have mercy.
I think Mars in this scenario, what he could have done, this is like one of the scenarios where DI actually matters for sure. It's often like for a lot of characters, their combos get extended in this game by being able to land on a platform. Inkling is another one of these characters. Like if Inkling gets a grab here and I up throw on low damage and people DI to the platform, I can like upper land on the platform and then keep the combo, right? But if they DI behind me, I can do an up air and the combo is over. So pretty much denying your opponent to land on the platform when they extend a combo, that will make the combo shorter pretty much. So if you get grabbed in a scenario where DI behind, they can't land on platform, or DI in front and you make them able to land on a platform after they hit you, that's often the difference between eating like, let's say 20, like the difference can be between 20 to 50 damage. Like correct DI, 20 damage. Wrong DI, 50 damage. But yeah, of course it depends character to character. But like, let's look at Leo here. He does the up throw and up air, right? And since he's able to land on the platform here, now he gets like, another grab. If Mars DI'd behind, it would not have worked in this particular scenario. Okay, Leo did mess up the punish, but point still stands.
Leo. All right, a strong start indeed for the man out of Mexico. That grab, so damage definitely starting to accumulate early before Mars tries to fight his way out of the corner. All right, so I got Leo not dropping his shield.
Oh yeah.
Right, so before Mars tries to fight his way out of the corner.
Yeah, like
accumulate early before Mars tries to fight his way out of the
here
corner.
We can see like Mars jump out of shield once, do nothing, jump again. Or he jumps, do nothing, and then jump again, trying to bait a jump. Because in this type of scenario, he might as well have gone for a grab, right? Which means that Leo, if he went for a grab, would have wanted to act out of shield. But Mars went for the read that he's going to jump out of shield. And he has caught Leo with quite a few jumps out of shield. So it makes sense that he was trying to throw out an aerial instead. But this time,
All right, so
Leo stayed in shield and got a small punish out of it.
Jukes somehow managed to get back to stage, but look at this. MKLeo is taking virtually no damage. Finally, though.
Ooh.
Oh, if that second up air hit,
That was a little bit unfortunate for Mars. That was a very good scenario for him.
If that
It's like good drift on Leo's end too.
virtually no damage. Finally, though.
Like here, like he barely dodges this up air, and then you can see Leo. He drifts towards Mars here, and barely avoids. A lot of people, when they want to like get away from a bad situation, they drift away from their opponent, but that oftentimes make it easier to follow up. Sometimes when you're really close to begin with, the better thing can be to like drift towards your opponent, so their move actually with.
If that second up air hit might have been an issue. Virtually no damage. Finally, though. If that second up air hit might have been an issue. And Mars always finding the way to just get back into the game. As soon as I noticed that, like, oh, he hasn't really got the...
Ooh.
Mars always finding the way to just get back into the game. As soon
Yeah.
as I noticed that, like, might have been an
That was
issue.
another one of those like ledge trap scenarios with like quick aerial preventing people from jump.
Game. As soon as I noticed that, like, oh, he hasn't really got the... Oh my God!
That was actually such a good exchange from both players. Like here, like Mars goes for the spike, and a lot of jokers would have simply just died from this. But Leo really tries to contest it and survive from this. And I mean, it was a trade, so I mean, what I'm trying to say is a lot of jokers would not have even thought about the fact that Mars is gonna attack, so they would have just straight up died. But Leo got the trade, and I mean, possibly could have even survived the scenario.
Why not? Why not go for it, bro? I mean, especially the way the match
But I mean,
started.
in the end, it was still worth it for Mars, because if you look at the stock difference, like, yes, Mars had, like, you know, stage control, but it's still, like, about a 50% difference.
Oh my God!
Why not? Why?
As soon as I noticed that, like, oh, he hasn't really
Oh, yeah, no, that was a backer. That was a backer from Leo to contest.
Go for it, bro. I mean, especially the way the match started out, quite literally nothing to lose. Especially the way the match started out.
Yeah, there you also can see, like, cross up.
I mean, especially the way the match started out,
Cross up, landing behind.
quite literally nothing to lose. The way the match started out, quite literally nothing to lose. A man possessed out. quite
Leo
literally
is
nothing
using
to
quite a bit
lose.
of shield and getting a little bit more grab now, it feels
A man
like.
possessed.
Honestly, no.
Nothing to lose. A man possessed. Quite literally
That's a little bit of a
nothing to
shame. It's like
lose.
Mars
A man
recognizes, so in this scenario, it feels like he recognizes that Leo is gonna land before he can do an up air, right? And Mars does jump, but it's like he doesn't throw out an up air. I would have liked to see him just like jump, make it look like he was gonna attack, but not, and then maybe work with an up air or something. Yeah, that's a bit weird. Maybe he like at first thought Leo was gonna be able to jump, but then was like, oh no, he will land, and then he felt like it was awkward timing or something. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure.
He was about to lose at some point in time anyway. He just, you know what? I'm taking you with me.
I need some poggers in the chat because I just saw it all over the battlefield.
Oh yeah, for
Like,
sure.
Good lord.
All right, so now with Mars being able to even up the stock at the very least. All right, so now with Mars being able to even up the stock. All right, so
I feel like he
now
probably
Mars
would have
being
been
able
able
to
to
even
like DI behind here
up
as
the
well.
stock, at the
But
very
maybe
least.
it's not enough to make the
Still starting to
difference
take quite a
against
bit of damage
Joker.
here from
It's been a while since I played against Joker myself.
Really controlling this entire stage as of right now. Most of the control on his side.
But I feel like he could have denied Leo like
Still starting to take with Mars,
as
being able to
good of
even
a
up the
punish
stock,
here.
At the very least, still starting to take quite a bit of damage here from MKLeo. Really controlling this entire stage as of right now. Most of the control on his side, you can see. Getting a little overzealous with that dash attack, but it's all good.
Yes, sir.
Still has Mars here stuck on the side and the platforms.
All right, taking his time with it. Mars yet again finding himself down in percent, but as that first stock indicated,
Yeah.
that is necessary. Yet again
There's a few
finding himself down in
times
percent,
Mars
As that first stock
have died from whiff grabs, but I mean, like,
again, finding himself
you
down in
need
percent,
to,
but
like, do them sometimes. And he thought that he could make the grab in time here, but Leo barely was able to spot dodge. I feel like it's so important in this game to know, like, can I punish before the spot dodge or not? A lot of times in this game, you have to accept the fact that you have to play this, like, spot dodge mix-up war. But I guess he either believed that the grab was going to be there on time, or that Leo was going to keep holding shield. But it's like, yeah, it's a big part of the game for sure, to be able to, like, always recognize if they can spot dodge
as that first stock
in time or
that
not.
doesn't necessarily define anything, but this time MKLeo not going to allow him to creep and crawl his way back to a position where that is going to be a viable option. Again, that just that performance on the first stock was insane. But this time, Leo really just running away.
I can't believe Mars actually tech that first F air down, man. Like, this is so quick.
Dude,
Really hard to
Leo is so good at, like,
I can't believe Mars actually tech
finding
that first,
openings
F air down,
with
man.
Arson.
This is so
Also, I
quick.
feel like Leo gets more shield grabs
I can't
than,
believe Mars
like,
actually tech
pretty
that
much
first,
anyone.
F air.
That's, like, one thing that strikes me. Like, a lot of people don't get their shield grabs, that they grab in scenarios when they can't. It feels like Leo really have, like, checked out all the common characters at the very least. When he can and when he can't shield grab. Because, yeah, even compared to other top players, it feels like he rarely shield grabs when it doesn't work. So, that's good as well.
Fair down, man. Like, this is so quick. It's really hard.
Like, one thing as well with the whole shield grab thing that is important to keep in mind is also, like, exactly how you got hit. Like, how early did they do their aerial? How far away are they from, you know, the shield? But yeah, it feels like Leo has labbed out a lot of those.
Wait a minute. In his own little F air strings, double back here. Base boosted.
All right, that flip kick using these acrobatics of ZSS, trying to mix Leo up, but not falling prey as he's able to return safely. Now, stage control starting to belong to him. Oh, wow, what a call. Safely now. Stage control starting to belong to him. Oh.
Yeah, that's a roll again. That's, yeah, like, one of the few Leo habits we talked about earlier.
Oh, wow, what a
Yeah,
call.
it seems like Mars tried to get to the other side of him or something.
Oh, wow, what a call up.
Yeah, I mean, it was, like, slightly closer to the right than the left. So, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense.
And I see why he wanted to go. He was actually just slightly closer to the right blast on the left. So he tried to get that reverse boost kick, maybe even mix up the DI a little bit. But yeah, unfortunate for him, whiffing it up. No grab on the wrong side. Little mini flubs here, but no one really taking a super huge advantage for it.
Damn, that was so close to killing.
Tries it again. I liked here, but no one really taking a super huge advantage. No grab.
If Leo did, like, charge up smash there, that probably would have been game. But, I mean, you can't really blame him because Leo has a big lead here, right? And oftentimes, good players, when they have a lead, like this large, a lot of people, they would rather take safe damage than slightly higher reward with more risk involved. Like, if Leo predicted Mars to land on the platform like that, he could have just been like, I'm charging up smash, and if it lands, it's game over. But with this much of a lead, a lot of people will be more like, I will take that safe damage even if it doesn't end the game. Because it becomes a higher hill to climb, right? But if you're behind, let's say Leo had 1 stock high damage and Mars had 2 stock high damage, then it's more likely to see players go for, this will take the stock, but it's higher risk. Because it's more important to make, like, a big play to make the comeback. So, like, the whole, like, risk-reward thinking and take that into account based on, like, being in the lead or behind. Stuff like that matters for sure as well. Like, it changes people's decision-making if they have the lead or not. Like, in this type of scenario, I personally would rather go for what Leo did, safe damage. But if I were behind, I would rather take, you know, the risk of missing, but the reward of getting the stock.
Taking a super huge advantage for it. Up smash, not enough to take the stock yet. Tries it again. I like it. I like the idea.
Oh, I like that B. Okay.
You're gone.
That was a good B reversal.
What? Yeah.
Oh, I like that B. Okay.
You're gone.
That was a good B reversal.
What?
Yeah, that didn't quite kill.
The up smash or the F smash?
thought that would
I
have
feel
been
like Leo's
enough.
ledge trapping against Mars has been very mediocre. I feel like it's probably also partly because he has to respect like flip kick and stuff. It's more scary to ledge trap Suit than many other characters. So it's like,
Thought that would have been enough.
I mean, I understand where he's
Let's look at
coming
the lead.
from.
I would say
Oh,
Leo doesn't have too much to worry about, but that up air, I don't want to have to eat my words here. Too much to worry about, but that up air, I don't want to have to eat my words here.
yeah, catching another jump.
But I might not have a choice, Mars.
Ooh, sneaking
I don't wanna
around.
eat my words here,
Yep.
Great Mars.
but I might not have.
Like, it barely doesn't, like, it doesn't reach here. Maybe not barely, but it doesn't reach here. Mars get on the side
Mars,
and
this
hits
young buck
Joker.
always
And
finds-
another roll in from
But
Leo.
I might not have a choice, Mars.
Another roll
This
in.
young buck always finding ways to surprise us. Could
Oh, panic air dodge. Yeah, this is like the panic options. This is the panic options. And it was not even like a neutral air dodge. It was like a directional air dodge. So you're stuck in a lot of lag.
Oh, okay. I thought you actually.
That was so close.
This be another time, TK.
Oh, okay. I thought you actually saw him go for the parry on that back air.
Oh my God!
Wait.
That's the second time. That's the second time. I like that Mars is doing this. So let's go back a little bit.
Go for the parry on that
In this type of scenario, Leo dashes back and tries to get in range for side B, right? But he is, you know, it takes a while after you throw out the projectile before you can actually do anything, right? And Mars, like the second time, I'm not sure if it was reaction or read, but I really like the way he contests those side Bs and then, you know, create a really good opening.
Oh my God! Did you see that crawl, bro? The creeping, the crawling, and he is out here balling. Does he have enough though? Does he have enough though?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm very tense right now. The
Ooh,
60,
that
89%. He's crawling under the Arsene.
Bruh.
Oh, finds the back air.
Another
The Arsene
jump
is
out of
gone.
shield.
My God.
Bruh.
Oh, finds the back air. The Arsene is gone. Oh.
My God! Did you see the pose? Did you see the pose?
Yeah, that was another clutch game from Mars. Croquet. Okay, so basically what we talked about earlier, the risky options versus the safe option. Yeah. Like, if you are a lot ahead, I personally, unless I'm like 100% sure or like 99.99% sure, I would rather take the safe damage to like guarantee damage instead of like, oh, I miss and I maybe even die for missing. But if you're behind, it's like by a lot, then you need to make a big play pretty much to win. So that was at least my mentality. Some people maybe don't even think about these type of stuff as much. But that was my mentality. That was my mentality.
Does one game away from taking Genesis.
Oh,
7.
damn. Right into
Does
the action
he
here.
have it in him is the question. But for Leo, man, talk about
Oh.
having your back.
Yeah, that might have been another parry
Is the
bait,
question.
actually. Since Leo drops shield. Wait.
Leo, man, talk about having your
Yeah,
back
maybe.
against the ropes.
Ooh.
Needing to win 3 in a row. Talk
Dude,
about having
that's...
your back against the ropes. Needing to
Yeah.
but for Leo, man,
That,
talk about having your back against the ropes.
Yeah, this was trying to cover, like, going low, but Leo jumps. So what Mars could have done was fall down, make it look like he was going to cover this area, and then cover jump. But, I mean, it's always easy when you see what the opponent is doing and say, like, oh, I could have done this instead. But Mars predicted Leo to go low, was covering this area, but Leo went high. If Mars knew, then it could have been good to, like, pretend like he was going to throw out a move here and then cover. Like, a lot of people, when they play, they make it very obvious, like, I'm going to cover this area. It can be very good to, like, make it look like you're going to cover an area and then cover something else.
Needing to win 3 in a row against
Yeah,
a
then the
Mars
parry
who's this
too.
red hot, who's proven to have a clutch factor like no other at the moment.
Dude, it's so crazy too, because like now you have to think about the fact that MKLeo is playing against a bunch of people who have all been able to take sets off of him. You know, he had to go.
Dude, no. Okay, I feel like this one was bad. I feel like this now, like if he DI'd in front instead, like I know it's not that much of a difference on the up throw, but now like Leo still was allowed to land on the platform, and now okay, that could have been very scary. Yeah, deny your opponent platform extension on combos is honestly very important.
The pressure is stacked up against him, but is he able to bring it back, or is Mars about to close it out in 3-0 fashion? What a dominant tournament this will be for him.
And what a renewed bit of confidence he has.
Yeah, I like that Mars is like trying to slow it down and take it easier versus Arsene.
In this matchup when it comes,
like a lot of people try to rush it too much, but we can see like a lot of different like movement from Mars. Like he throws out attacks once in a while, but here like spacing, crouching, spacing, and then like one of his, you know, stray hits gives him a reward.
I did kind of touch on the fact that to use in ZSS, right? Because again, you know, I did kind of touch on the fact that felt like to use in ZSS,
it felt like Mars did not believe he was gonna get hit by the side B, but then he probably lost his jump in this process and like tried to go for a stock trade because he was dead. That might have been like his thought process.
His split-second decision is so good. He got his jump taken. He said, you know what? There's no way you can actually get past me. I'm throwing. He got his jump taken. His split-second decision is so good.
Here's another scenario where we see Leo like drop shield. He has not gotten like.
I'm throwing this boost kick right in front of you.
Maybe Mars mixed up the timings a lot from previous sets or something, but Leo hasn't really gotten a reward out of like how he acts out of shield. Whether it's dropping shield, jumping out of shield, I feel like that's like one of the key scenarios from this set for sure.
Now Mars keeping the advantage.
Yeah, that was so close.
Good damage, 73% already.
Caught him slipping out here, flipping.
Yep, that's another one of punishing the side Bs. That's a third one in 3 games. At least a third one. So that's probably something we're gonna see Leo mix up next time. Be a little bit more careful, because this is the third time at least where Leo like being far away from Mars and is like, oh, side B, and Mars like, haha.
This is looking pretty rough for Joker. MKLeo, what have you got, son?
Gets the punish. I like that. You know, knowing the air dodge is coming, managed to fade that one back. What you're doing there? F2 pushed him off.
Oh no! Oh, that could have been so big for Mars.
What you're doing there? F2 pushed him off. Thought that was a clean back air.
Yeah, good tech.
On the other side, MKLeo. Honestly, this is like the most loss I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
that up out of shield is so fast as well and strong.
I hate to say it, but a bit of defeat already written all over his face, and I hate to say
really?
it, but a bit of defeat already written all over his face, and just giving up that sock. Let me find out. I mean, I love ZSS too, but Joker out here sipping, just giving these stocks away.
All right, it's one more stock chance they're out here.
It's crazy though, like how close this set has been, and like it's still 2-0. This is like probably the closest 3-0 I've seen in Ultimate. Yeah, that's like one of those scenarios where it's like, it isn't, but it feels like when these type of key scenarios, it's like, oh, he doesn't get his smash attack here, and like Mars get his shield up in time. Like often as a viewer, it's like, damn, that's probably it. I know it isn't always, and especially as a competitor, you should never think like that. But as a spectator, it's like, sometimes when like that one little thing, it's like, it's just not going your way, it often like, it's a big sign.
Okay, doesn't get the down smash. However, Mars actually meeting him in the sky. This has been one of the tells for MKLeo, man. He's been getting met quite a bit in the sky, especially in that set.
It's not like the comeback itself is by any means impossible, but it's like often a sign that, you know, you're currently playing a little bit, you know, a little bit too much below where you need to be to win. Of course, it's outliers. But it really feels like that when I watch Smash, at least when it's like, oh, this person should have hit this, and they don't, and then they just don't win after.
Okay, kind of waiting out. You saw he was just playing the edge until.
Ooh, I don't. Leo didn't believe he was gonna get this first hit fair. Like you can see that he dashed away. He didn't expect it. Like he wanted to like stay safe as well. That's why he retreated with the fair. So it's probably a combination of wanting to stay safe and not believing it was gonna hit.
All good.
Oh yeah.
Definitely a miscue from Mars, but sure staying encouraged. He has a pretty decent lead. Also momentum certainly on his side. Seldom have we seen Mars let that go to waste.
Yep, another up the out of shield.
Last encounter between these two TK, you'll recall, man, Smash Summit 2. It was a 3-0 victory.
Leo's actually been hanging at the ledge quite a bit, a few times. I would imagine that Zero Suit's ledge trump backer can be good as like, you know, a trump card, like once in a while. I know like Leo himself, ledge trump people once in a while. Same thing with like Nairo. So yeah, maybe that could be something, since Leo seems to hang on to the ledge quite a bit.
Very true.
To see what's unfolded before our very eyes.
Okay, but MKLeo slowly but surely digging his way back in. They are on the last stock, and the Arsene is getting a little close. B, not going to be able to take it yet. Mars, though, still trying to keep the momentum all in his side. Oh my God, how did he fade it?
Wait, what?
Mars, though, still trying to keep the momentum all in his side.
Oh yeah, yeah, Leo could have gotten that.
Still trying to keep the momentum all in his side.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how did he fade it?
He could have been slightly faster.
Hair too late on that reaction. Don't get an opportunity to say that too often. All right, Arsene hasn't been much of the difference maker throughout the set thus far, but when MKLeo needs him the most.
Oh no, that was like one of those. Oh, I'm scared. It was like not really any reason. I mean, he could have gotten away with the roll, but like trying to look at it objectively, that was a pretty bad roll. And same thing with that air dodge. It's like one of those, like, I'm one hit away from winning, and it can be hard. It can be really hard to like keep your focus up, because it's so much pressure. You want to win so much. Like for Mars, like he hasn't won a tournament of this caliber in Ultimate. Not in Smash 4 either, I think. I will not, don't mark my words there. I'm not super up to date with all the Smash 4 history, but I think this is like his biggest win of his career. But like here is like, you know, he's that close. So often you can see like what was that air dodge? That was actually like, that was a bad one. But I mean, he did survive it.
Somehow managed to make it back to stage,
and overall, yeah, Mars has been so clutch this set. And is that another catch jump out of shield?
Tries to give him the side. Oh my God!
Yeah.
No 4P just defeat.
Damn. Yeah, that was the closest 3-0. Closest 3-0 I've ever seen. I mean, Smash Factor was not anywhere near as big as Genesis. I know he won Smash Factor against Leo, but... And no disrespect towards Smash Factor, I've been to one of those myself. But this is much, much bigger of a win. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this set review. It's been fun. It was a really good set. And I hope you all learned something from it.